Hey guys, LevelCap here, and this week in gaming, Halo Infinite's playtest was data mined, new Battlefield mobile footage is available, Respawn refused to let Titanfall die, and much more. Halo Infinite playtesters have discovered some hidden weapons and a handful of pretty hilarious bugs. Some players managed to activate Infinite's custom matchmaking system and found several unannounced weapons. The Disruptor is an electrically based sidearm pistol. The Cinder Shot is a forerunner weapon that fires bouncing explosive energy balls. Of course, the iconic energy sword is returning, plus the Halo 5 Hydra grenade launcher and Halo 2 Sentinel beam are also returning. We've known that Infinite would blend the classic Halo weapons with new weapons, mechanics, and gameplay design, but seeing these new weapons really clarifies just how far 343 are taking things. Now, of course, the new playtest wouldn't be a playtest without some bugs. Players have discovered some hilarious melee mechanics that were popular back in Halo 2. Quickly canceling a melee animation by switching weapons and hitting melee again will let you karate chop your way to victory. Other bugs include a wet floor sign that spawns infinite copies of itself when hit by a grenade, and trash bags that kill players when touched. Players have also spotted some impressive physics for duffel bags that react to being touched quite realistically. Overall, it's clear this playtest is going over well with players. If you were invited, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Battlefield mobile footage hit social media yesterday thanks to a playtest in select regions. One aspect of the game that we didn't get a chance to cover yesterday was destruction. Additional gameplay clips of players blasting buildings apart with tanks was released following our initial coverage, and it looks awesome. Battlefield Mobile might not be a groundbreaking or cutting-edge title in some regards, but it's still an impressive recreation of Battlefield's standout elements on the mobile platform. And like I said yesterday, I don't think Battlefield Mobile will replace the traditional PC or console experience for anyone, but I'll be for sure checking it out when it's available in the US. It's been a weird week for Titanfall fans. Respawn employee Jason Garza suggested there's nothing there in terms of Titanfall 3 development because the studio is currently working on too many other games to make it. It's pretty much a given that the studio is entirely focused on Apex Legends and future Star Wars titles. This statement by Garza just confirms what we've speculated for years. However, Respawn's official social media account countered Garza's statement, saying contrary to what some folks are reporting, Titanfall is the very core of our DNA. Who knows what the future holds? As good as Titanfall games are, it's undeniable that they fail to meet their sales expectations. They're also in a miserable state these days, thanks to hackers. It's tough to say if we'll ever get another proper Titanfall game, regardless of what Respawn alludes to on social media. For all we know, their idea of new Titanfall content could be adding a character to Apex Legends that has a smart pistol as their ultimate ability. Data miners recently found an unreleased character that can call in a Titan, so there's clearly some Titanfall content in store for Apex, but there's no way to say for sure if it'll ever lead to another standalone entry in the franchise. China just dropped the ban hammer on all cryptocurrency transactions for like the millionth time. Previously, they had banned select cryptos such as Bitcoin, and while this is bad news for crypto miners and enthusiasts, it's potentially great news for PC gamers. Mining crypto with off-the-shelf GPUs is extremely popular. China banning crypto probably won't slow down big mining operations since they're used to skirting the country laws, but it could deter the average home miner from buying a dozen RTX 3070s. Ultimately, that might mean more stock for gamers and less interest from miners for consumer hardware. China's crypto market is the second largest in the world behind the US, so this ban is pretty massive. GOG is in hot water thanks to their release of 2016's Hitman. GOG traditionally sells games DRM free, aka all the titles listed on their store can be played offline. And while Hitman doesn't have DRM in the traditional sense, much of its gameplay and features are online only. So actually playing the game without an internet connection is virtually impossible. The game has been review bombed in response to this issue, with its overall rating dropping to the lowest of any game on GOG. GOG responded to the poor reviews by saying that they're looking into a solution. In the meantime, they'll be deleting reviews that don't follow the site's review guidelines. Easy anti-cheat isn't the only anti-cheat solution getting Linux compatibility ahead of Steamdeck's launch. BattlEye is officially getting support for Valve's handheld console by the time it launches. They'll be supporting Proton, which is Valve's compatibility tool for running Windows titles on Linux. BattlEye has traditionally worked on both Linux and Mac for years, but it's up to the developers to opt in on supporting Proton. Without this level of support, the Steam Deck would be missing some major titles like Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG, Battlefield games, and more. Far Cry 6 won't offer its ray tracing features on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. Ubisoft disabled the features to offer higher resolution and frame rates on consoles. They confirm ray tracing is a PC-only feature and that both consoles will offer 4K 60fps gameplay. Amazon announced the release schedule for their upcoming MMO New World. The game goes live at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on September 28th. New World is potentially Amazon's first gaming success story. So far, they've had multiple titles launched to poor critical reception and eventually pulled them from sale or halted development. The response to New World's closed and open betas has been pretty positive, but the true test of any MMO is what happens when players finish the main quest lines and base game content. There have been plenty of MMOs that launch to rave reviews only for players to discover the endgame is a tedious chore with nothing of value or consequence to do. New World has a real shot at competing with popular MMOs like Final Fantasy XIV, Black Desert Online, and Elder Scrolls Online, but it all hinges on what keeps players engaged in the long term. Before we get to our final story of the week, I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in. If you've been enjoying our news coverage and want to help support what we do, please consider subscribing. It helps more viewers find our content and keeps you in the loop on breaking news stories. Valve might be making a dramatic change to Steam. The game client's most recent beta update has seemingly removed the ability to roll back game updates to previous versions. Right now, you can use a website like SteamDB to find the depot for any game listed on Steam. Using this depot lets you download and play older versions of Steam titles, but the current beta prevents users from doing this by requiring an authentication code that changes every 5 minutes. At first, you might think that this change was an accident, but Valve clarified it was intentional. They say it'll help avoid delays when launching games and to prepare for possible offline play. It's unclear if the backlash to this change will make them reverse the decision or not, but I have a feeling it's unlikely. It's also unclear what this means for channels that are covering updates to Steam games like CSGO or Minecraft. Both games have massive communities focused on preserving older versions of those games. The change could effectively prevent them from continuing some of their work. And that wraps it up for This Week in Gaming. Again, before we go, if you guys got invited to that Halo playtest, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Are you excited for the upcoming Halo game? Because I'm definitely getting hyped up. I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.